Hi, in this video on the AI in C# and the Microsoft Agent Framework, we'll be looking into the chat reducer. And the best way to explain what the chat reducer is to give an example where we don't use it and what issues that can give, and then go in and see what different chat reducers options we have. So here we have a system running with a fairly normal system without any settings other than the defaults. We're doing a little more down here, writing out things. So for example, if I say, hi, my name is Rasmus, we see the answer, but we also see the number of tokens and number of threads in this agent thread. So we use 27 input tokens, 17 output tokens. But if I then ask something simple like, what is 2 plus 2? We now used input token 60. And the reason is, of course, that it sent the entire thread back, including my name announcement and the response back. And that is, of course, because then I can say, what is my name? And it will still remember. But as we go along, you can see the number of messages in the thread will only go up, and the number of input tokens will go up as well in that regard. So if I said, what is the capital of France, it will go up again, and we're up to 8 threads. So if we want to reduce this, we have something called a chat reducer. And there's two options for chat reducers. There's a simple one called message counting and one called summarization. Let's start with the message counting. So what we can do is we can make an iChat reducer and just say whenever we are over 4 messages, delete the oldest ones. And in order to use this, we need to, when we create our agent, tell in the chat client agent options that we have a chat message store factory, meaning the one that stores it. And the out of the box is an in-memory chat message store where we can go in and just tell how to serialize it. So if we do this and restart, we can again ask, hi, my name is Rasmus. And we of course have the 27 like before, 2 messages and so on. But if I say, what is the capital of France, we now used 64 and have 4 threads. We can ask again, what is the capital of Denmark? And now we see that we don't use too much extra. It's a little longer messages, but we're now down to 4 threads again from 4 here. We didn't go up to 6, and the only thing it knows is what's the capital of France and what's the capital of Denmark. So if we ask again, what is the capital of Germany? We will actually go a little down in input tokens because some of these are a little shorter than the ones we just left. But the drawback of this is, of course, that when I say, what is my name, then it won't know because it's out of context, meaning the chat reducer have reduced it down to something where my original message of, hi, my name is Rasmus, is gone. So 4 might be a little too low number, but you could, for example, say it should be 10 or 100, or all depending on what your situation is. Another chat reducer is the summarization chat reducer. So I switch to that down here. We can see that the chat reducer actually requires an iChat client, which is the Microsoft extension AI version of an AI agent. And then it asks for a target count, meaning after it had summarized, because what it's doing is it taking all the previous messages and making a summarization, just like when you ask ChatGPT to summarize a long text, and it can summarize it into a shorter version, losing details but not everything. Then this one can do the same. And what we are aiming for is that after it has reduced, it should only have one target left, and the threshold would be whenever we reach 4 or more over the target count. So let's see that in action. And let's start again. Hi, my name is Rasmus. And of course, we just get it normally. What is the capital of France? We can see it's normal because we are under the threshold. Now we ask, what is the capital of Germany? And now something different happens in that we have 3 messages left. We have one here, which is a summarization of what have been talked about until the question about what is the capital of Germany. So we essentially took everything that was here and summarized. And then we left the other one, the last question, behind. So even though the message is technically gone, I can still say, what is my name? And it will know, because we are still within a summarization. And one of the things it summarized was that my name was Rasmus. And I asked for how to make soup. It wouldn't have, it would just have summarized that the user asked for a soup recipe step by step, but it wouldn't take all the different small cases into account. Of course, the summarization itself also costs some tokens, but it could be that this is a better way for you to have a long conversation, and after like 10 messages or 15 minutes, it should always summarize what is finds most important in the older messages, and retaining some of the values compared to when we used a raw cutoff. Or you can, of course, leave them out and just have an endless conversation costing more tokens. So it's all a balance of what is valuable, what is the chance of someone using the older messages for something, and if it's worth doing summarization or not. So that was everything for this time. See you in the next one.